No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is it looking better on the screen?
It's looking a lot better. I'm liking it.
Praise Jesus.
We have more technical difficulties on this show.
We're going to get it one of these days.
I mean, and what was it? You wanted to use a Microsoft computer.
Hey.
Which I have no problem with Microsoft. I mean, I just like for me, I like the Macs better for audio recording, but I don't think it had anything to do with your compute with Microsoft. I think it was just the kind of computer we were trying to use.
My computer just wasn't, my older one was not built for that.
So this is all pre-game. This is all warm up, but maybe we should do a show.
Let's do it.
What do you think?
I'm down.
Maybe. It's been long enough.
I know it has.
So I think we have at least one fan out there that's like, where is another episode of the show?
I know one of my coworkers asked, are we going to put another one out? I was like, I'm trying. We are trying.
Every time something comes up. So we actually recorded a couple weeks ago, and we recorded, by the way, you are listening to Hear No Evil.
Yes, by the way.
After a number of months off. I'm Chris Copeland.
I'm Justin McGill.
And so we record some great content, and we're like, yes, we're going to get this out. And it was on this, what kind of computer was that you wanted to do it on?
It's a Lenovo Yoga.
Okay.
I still recommend them out there, people.
So
go buy one.
You're still recommending? Lenovo, send us free stuff.
Lenovo.
You know?
Sponsored. No kidding.
Right? Rick and Morty can do it for trying to get Nintendo, so we can get a laptop out of the deal. But it just didn't have the processing power that we needed, and it just ended up sounding like garbage.
Yeah.
It was all staticky. We did everything we could, but it was on the hardware side, not the software side.
Right.
So we're back. We didn't get our Thanksgiving episode in.
Nope.
But we're here for Christmas, baby.
It's Christmas.
So it is Justin's favorite time of the year.
Oh, yeah.
I think you spend more money than anyone I know on Christmas.
I've had to tone it down a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just got married.
I did.
You got a wedding
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, you sound extremely excited. Yeah.
I did.
Calm down there, newlywed. So, how's that going for you?
It's going, I mean, when you've been together as long as I have with my now wife.
Right.
It's just, life continues as normal.
I know, like, because I just got married in March. So, you know, I'm a newlywed too. So, and everybody keeps going, oh, it's a lot different, isn't it? It feels a lot different. And these are guys that are married, right, that have been married for years. And I'm like, what is this big change, metamorphosis that you went through where you went from like this caterpillar to a butterfly, you know, the day you got married?
Some midlife crisis you have early.
I know. I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. And but from what I'm kind of picking up on is I think it's just a level of expectation, like what you were gonna do, what you were doing when you were just dating, as opposed to
now you're married. And
yeah. And I think a lot of people do change, you know, like that. Luckily, my wife did not. It was just like, you know, I was
business as usual.
I know, and with all the questions about how different is it, it's a lot different, right? I was waiting. I'm like, oh my God, what's coming? What is coming?
She's going through a change.
I know. So, but that's good. But so congratulations. You're married. We're both married. We're both legitimized now. So I'm making up words as I go along this week.
Nice.
So we got that, and then we had, again, like I said, we did record an episode. And it was great, and it was about our top, you know, Christmas movies of all time. And it was so organic. It's kind of hard to go back and do it, but we can review that a little bit because I know so many people out there, they love their Christmas movies.
They do.
You know.
They do.
I mean, so we had talked about, we got into a lot about what is even considered a Christmas movie. But I think we agreed when we were going through our top five, just a recap, we agreed that the Home Alone series is a top Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah.
we agreed
A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story, the Santa Claus movies, minus the Santa Claus 3, but I
Yes,
guess
not Santa Claus 3.
Because is that really considered a trilogy?
Sorry, Martin Short, but nah.
No. So, and I love Martin Short.
I know, I like him too, but nah.
It was a little cheesy.
I could have done without the Jack Frost.
So where it came in, where we really started to
the fork in the road.
Yes, diverge paths was when we got into the top movies, like the top 2, and and you had a problem with my pick of Ernest Saves Christmas as a top Christmas movie of all time.
I'm not going to bring us down like I did last time and bring that up again.
You're not,
but all I have to say is, if you know anything about the Kevin Spacey conspiracy, you will know my reservations with Ernest. I'll leave it at that.
But there was nothing about it. He thinks Ernest looks like a pedophile.
I was a kid, I watched Ernest, but now that I'm a grown up, I'm like looking back on this and how the times I'm like, what? Ernest would not fly nowadays. You cannot leave that grown man with a bunch of little kids alone and not be suspicious.
But Ernest never did anything. It was just like the original that we know of. Are you really trying to make up a conspiracy about what was his name? James Varney? You're really trying to make it one of my beloved? So the next thing you're going to tell me is that like the guy from Blue's Clues is suspect.
Hey, you leave Steve alone.
Mr. Rogers, is he on this list?
Well, I mean, he just had puppets. What was wrong with that?
Oh, really? You're pointing the pedophile finger here, and a grown man with puppets doesn't throw a red flag for you?
And that's very true. I mean, if I wanted to go a stretch, I could include Barney in that.
Oh my God, a large man in a purple dinosaur suit. Look, I loved Ernest growing up. Ernest Saves Christmas is one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. And you cannot talk bad about it.
We agreed to disagree on that one, and then we moved on.
There was no agree to disagree. You agreed that you had made some kind of major point on this, which you didn't. And I'm still shell-shocked that you would even say anything like that about this guy.
I normally wouldn't think that way, but the way the news is going lately, I had to kind of put those two together, and I thought, what if that's really, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. You're being screwed over by the media. I can't wait until you're a parent. This is going to be really interesting to see. You're going to be a helicopter parent.
I probably will.
Yeah.
I probably will.
Okay, so Ernest Saves Christmas, yes, is on my top list. And then I think the big thing was came down to what were the top 2. What was your number 2?
I said I don't remember.
It might have been A Christmas Story.
It may have been A Christmas Story.
And my number 2 was, our number 1, they diverge path. My number 2 was Die Hard. I love this. I love this movie. I love it every Christmas. I love the Run DMC and the boys doing the Christmas songs in it. It's an action movie. Yes, I know. But that was my number 2 Christmas movie of all time.
And speaking of that, today there was an article that said Twitter has voted that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Yeah, but I want to know who is voting.
Place during Christmas.
I need to check demographics because I will tell you that anybody between the ages of 25 to 40 would disagree, except for you. You don't think it's a Christmas movie, but I don't think that you have a true appreciation for the Die Hard series.
I mean, I like them, but they're not like my go-to, and I don't know.
Right.
What does a balding Bruce Willis have to do with
balding Bruce Willis?
I'm just saying.
He is the epitome of the holidays.
Almost the pinnacle. He is the pinnacle of the Christmas season.
And I will say it for this reason. Okay. During the holidays, we watch a lot of cheesy, very corny. You got to admit.
Hallmark movies.
Yeah, Hallmark movies and certain Christmas songs. You need a break. There needs to be a break. And what better break than Bruce Willis in the Nakatomi Towers going up against
wearing a white beater and pants.
What?
Wearing a white beater and pants, kicking some butt.
Exactly. Yippee-ki-yay, the whole nine. I mean, the German bad guy, you've got to love it. I mean, it's a great...
Everything I think about Christmas right there.
Exactly. Yeah, and then he's got the gun on his back with the Christmas wrapping tape. You can't beat it.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah? No? Okay, so but I still say it's better than your number one.
Hey.
What was your number one?
My number one, personally for me, is The Family Stone.
Family Stone is not a Christmas movie at all. There's nothing Christmassy
about it. If you're going to put Die Hard up there.
Sure, at least they had some Christmas music in it.
They have Christmas music in this one. They have a couple songs.
A couple songs. But it's not actually a Christmas movie either. It's just shot during Christmas time. So, but The Family Stone is pretty much like a retold story. It's not, I mean, it's like...
It's not a retold story. It's an original story.
Well, no, I mean, like, well, they wrote it.
It's a rom-com, so I mean, it's the typical cliche stuff.
But I guess I'm saying it's nothing that you haven't seen before as far as movie plot or anything like that. Yeah. I mean, it was, I don't know. I don't understand why this movie holds such a spot in your heart.
It just touches my heart in a certain way. I don't know, and that's why I like to watch it. Melissa would disagree, which is fine, but
your own wife said
my own wife would say no, but movie. She doesn't like the movie because I like Rachel McAdams and she doesn't. So
okay, so now it comes out.
No. I'm just saying that's
crush,
why she doesn't like it.
Your movie crush, Rachel McAdams, that you have seen like every single movie she has. I'm sure you have them on 4K, Blu-ray, 3D.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. So yeah, you're gonna go home and watch The Notebook tonight and cry, aren't you?
No.
You do not. That's not convincing. That's not convincing at all. Just to say that. Okay, so we'll say there's some question on Die Hard and The Family Stone. I still say Die Hard is a legit.
I'll leave it with the listeners. They'll be the ones that decide for us.
It's like, forget you guys on Twitter. I don't care what you have to say. I'd like to see the demographic.
It's probably Twitter bots or something that are just like.
I know. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Just one guy that works at Twitter just said no and put it on there.
He's like, no one will agree with me. I'm gonna make them.
That's right. We use the power of social media. So we go through the Christmas movies, and now you wanted to talk about. You were like, well, if we got that episode ruined, let's not talk about Christmas movies. Let's talk about Christmas music, like top 10 songs of all time.
So that's what I figured.
Kind of. We have some guests looking in on us right now. Hi, kids. We're actually recording in a new spot, an actual studio, which is nice this week.
And he scared them away.
I did. All I did was wave at them. Maybe
it's the beard.
I think
the beard scared.
Is it? Well, you've got a beard too.
No, I get that same reaction with kids though.
I don't know. Maybe it's that James Varney vibe that you put in here.
That I put in here.
You put that in here. I believe he is beloved and great for children. I think
what they said. I heard that you like Ernest, and that scared them.
Is that what it was?
That's what it is.
They had no problem looking in here.
Like, Ernest, gotta go.
That's it. I'm done. This is the last episode we're ever doing. But yes, we decided we're gonna do a top 10 best. Well, this is Justin's. Justin wants to do one.
But Chris said, no, we can't do that because I don't like Christmas music unless it's on Christmas.
Yeah.
Who says that?
I do.
Who says that?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, and I want you to talk about, let's ask Twitter. Let's ask the audience. Get on our Facebook. What's our Facebook?
It's at Hear No Evil Podcast.
Hear No Evil Podcast. Even on Twitter.
At Hear No Evil Pod.
At Hear No Evil Pod, okay? Or, send us an email if you've got like a longer story, and that's, what's our main email address right now?
Hear No Evil Podcast at gmail.com.
There we go. So, do you love Christmas music? Is it absolutely necessary? Me, no. I work in a building where they just pump that stuff in 24 hours a day. For the last month, man, even before Thanksgiving hit, they started pumping that stuff in.
And I was loving every minute of it.
I hate it. I can't stand it. And not that I hate Christmas music, I hate being bombarded by it 24 hours a day. I think there's way better music out there than Christmas music. Like the day before Christmas, like those last couple of days going up to it. Yeah, I want to get into that, that Christmas spirit. Maybe if it's even like a weekend, a couple weekends before, we're going to watch some, Christmas movies. We got people coming over to the house. I might put on some Christmas music. No, I do not need it 24 hours a day.
There's even some songs I listen to like year round. I don't care if they're Christmas. I just
like what?
Like, I like All I Want for Christmas by the Glee cast. I like that version.
Okay.
That one I listen to year round. I like There's some Ariana Grande ones. There's a couple of them out there that could be listened to year round.
The only one that I've heard listened to year round is like the Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Pops up every once in a while. Now, I do have my favorite songs, some like that I would prefer, but not enough that I want to put them in a top 10 list. Because if I was like overall of all time putting, like a list together, like let me say like I put my top 1,000 songs together, I don't think one Christmas song would have gotten into that list.
It's too bad.
No, I just don't get it. I'm not big on Christmas music. So, no.
What he's trying to say is he's being a Grinch. No, I'm kidding.
No, I do like Boyz II Men Christmas album that they put out.
Yeah?
I love that one. Yeah, and I've seen them live in concert. I wish I wanted to see them for the holidays for that, because I have no problem getting in the Christmas spirit. I just don't care about Christmas music all that much. No? Nothing to say?
I just disagree. I haven't listened to Christmas music since before Thanksgiving. We listen to it at work every day, my coworker and I, and we blare it out. And I know it makes people mad, but you walk by and it's like Christmas threw up in our room. We're just all having a good time, and every day.
So this is where we definitely differ, because I'm the guy that walks into a store like 2 weeks before Halloween, and I see Christmas decorations going up, and I see all this Christmas stuff, and I'm like, we haven't even gotten to Halloween yet, and you guys want to bring in Christmas, and you're the one that walks in like, yay, Christmas!
Like, oh, that's new.
Yeah. I'm like, take it down. I don't care what it is. We're doing Halloween right now. We're doing the scary stuff. We're still in fall. Then we hit Thanksgiving. It's like my mother-in-law, we're over there at her house, and it's like a week before Thanksgiving, and she's taking down like the Horn of Plenties, your cornucopias and the straw men and all these like decorations, and I'm like, she's like, hey, can you help me get a box so I can put that? I was like, what are you doing? I was going to put the Christmas stuff up. I'm like, this is the Thanksgiving decorations right here. We're still a week away from Thanksgiving. Why are you taking this down?
Because she obviously shares what I share, the love of Christmas, and she likes the season.
I don't get it. And now it's like this big thing where there are so many people like you out there that now it's the thing is to keep your tree up all year round, 365 days a year. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen that, but I mean, it's not a bad idea.
I was at Hobby Lobby, and I was just standing there looking at this tree that was decorated with like fall stuff. Mm-hmm. It was really pretty, but I was like, is this like a thing or?
Well, I mean, it's like the wreaths on the door. People have those year round, and like Valentine's Day wreaths and winter ones and St. Patrick's Day ones. I mean, everybody can do something with the wreath. Same concept.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's what they were saying, was that a lot of people, the woman that was there was just telling me that it's like a big thing to just keep it up and then just decorate seasonally. And then once Christmas comes around, but it's a tree. It's a Christmas tree. Let's just be honest. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And some people like to just decorate that thing and keep it up year round. Just like something is seriously wrong with you, that you're just like, because
I don't do that, but
right. But the thing is, they just love Christmas. I don't think it's necessarily, I don't see the baby Jesus out in their living room. Let's say that. You see what I'm saying? It's not like the spirit of Christmas as far as from a Christian standpoint. It's not because I love celebrating the birth of Christ year round. They just like Santa and getting presents and stuff like that, as far as I see that obsession. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
So if you kept a manger scene year round, I would have no problem with that, like at all. Now, the Christmas trees have always bothered me.
I guess that kind of doesn't make sense in one way to put one up and not the other, or not have one out and not the other.
Right. But, okay, so the reason they always bothered me is because of this thing that I learned when I was taking some seminary classes, okay? Mm-hmm. And they were talking about, and it's been a while, so you guys out there listening, it's not going to be perfect, and I've actually heard this from, I've read this in like three or four different sources, and they were all slightly skewed on their information, but...
So he's saying fact check him.
Exactly. No. But yeah, you can, because you'll see that it's all like this, like every time you read like this telling, it depends on the source and where it came from, but it all pretty much says about the same thing. And it was that when Rome decided to switch over to Christianity as their as their one religion.
Right.
A lot of it had to do with the conflict that was happening between all of these different gods. So you've got, obviously, you didn't have Thor fighting, whoever, but I mean, like the people and their beliefs, it was like constantly there was a new holiday for a different god, for this or that. And so when they took over, they essentially placed Christian holidays over pagan holidays. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So took all the old gods away, made one god, replaced them. But the thing with the tree was that was because of a god named Baal or Baal. It depends on how you want to pronounce it. So Baal was pretty much the male. He was the one that had the seed of man, according to legend, obviously. Okay. Ether, which was actually a very large bunny rabbit, which was where we get Easter from. So that's why we call it Easter, and that's why he lays eggs, is because in pagan mythology, Baal inseminates Ether, who lays an egg that gives birth to man.
You should explain that to your kids when you have them.
I know.
You're very using your hands, and you're very
I'm very animated. I told you,
animated and profound with your words. That's like it's scary.
I told you we should have had Brian here recording this in this video camera. Right?
It was born.
The end. Yes, exactly. Go to sleep, sweetie. Yeah. So that's exactly how I'm going to explain childbirth to my children. By the way. I'm not dealing with that. But so that is that's the basic story. That's a very watered down version of it. Okay. So but how this progresses is Baal has his own day. Ether obviously has his own day. And because of that, because when they would celebrate like Baal Day or whatever, they would actually put a tree, or a pole in the house. Yes, it's a phallic symbol. So really, in essence, you are putting a description of a very large penis in your living room every single year.
Why'd you have to go there?
And then I'm just telling you how it is.
You have to go there.
And the ornaments, they're balls. Do we not put Christmas balls? Do we not?
The balls are his testicles. What you're saying?
Essentially, yes.
All ornaments are his testicles.
Yeah. You ever gonna look at your Christmas tree the same?
Probably not. Probably not. Now that my Christmas tree is packing, I'm not going to probably think of it the same way.
My mom hated that I learned this, because after that, I'd walk in and I'd be like, man, look at the balls on that thing. It's beautiful, So I just give her a hard time about it, but it's true. But it's weird when I learned that. I was like, well, I mean, I knew the Christmas tree concept came from somewhere,
right,
but that's pretty intensive that we still have this very pagan tradition.
Well, I can guarantee that people don't think of their Christmas trees that way. They probably don't even know that story.
They don't. But it's something that's carried over, and it's actually a very, very pagan thing to do, is to have a Christmas tree in your house. Not that it stops me from having it, because I don't celebrate it. I don't have it up for that reason.
Right.
You see what I mean? But it's still always stuck in my head. But what? I think this is an important thing, because this is a lot of this. I think this kind of segues perfectly into what we really wanted to talk about with this, which was just people that have issues with Christmas, people that don't celebrate for whatever reason. A lot of times it's just that they feel like the spirit of Christmas is lost.
Right.
And I do know some people that, because of the Christmas tree thing, it has turned them off from a lot of Christmas stuff. Now, the biggest thing that this goes into is not just the tree and the phallic symbol and all of this, but that day that we still put that tree up is because that day was designed originally for the god Baal. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It is not technically the birth of Christ. December 25th was not the day that Jesus Christ was born.
Say what?
Right. Should we say it again? So, how does that affect your celebrating Christmas and the birth of Christ?
Well, I mean, from my perspective, Christmas is really, I mean, I celebrate Jesus all the time, 365, so it doesn't affect me too much. But, I mean, I feel like people use December, April and December is like those months where, like, I don't know, Jesus gets intensified and he's,
right.
You see him everywhere. I mean, he is everywhere, but you know what I mean? Like, he's on people's lawns and he's on people's door. I mean, he's, more than before.
Right, right.
Christmas, everybody kind of just, that's like the dedicated day. Whether you
that's right. But does that bother you that is not the day that he was born? Then you're celebrating it.
I mean, it doesn't.
Does it take anything away from it?
No.
Do you know people who have been upset or turned off by that?
Not personally.
No? No. Okay, so there's this guy that just the other day, we were actually talking about this, that my wife was talking to. And his wife is very upset because he is refusing to celebrate Christmas. So he says, we do it for the wrong reasons. This isn't the true spirit of Christmas. And so my wife, as she is, starts kind of just throwing some softball questions out there, trying to see if he'll respond to get something out of him. So she's expecting this big, well, it's the birth of Christ, and and Jesus needs to be respected in a better way. And I feel like I want my kids to know, have a deeper relationship. And no. It really didn't have a lot to do with that. He just felt like they were being lied to. And I don't know. This guy,
so it was because it was an inaccuracy or
yeah.
That was his only reason why?
He said, we're not going to celebrate Christmas. And, because, well, his reason, okay, so here's why I say that, because I think his reasoning is completely off the charts. But he said, one, it was because of this thing, because Jesus was not born on this day. And he can prove it because the wise men didn't walk through snow to go see the birth of Christ.
He didn't say that, did he?
Yeah, he did.
So does he know where Jesus was born?
Exactly. The Middle East, right? I mean, and so, yeah. So he was like, because they didn't walk through snow, it must not have been. Jesus was not born in Alberta. This wasn't. I don't know.
The baby Jesus is born. Let's have some flapjacks and some maple syrup.
This guy, exactly. Exactly. Let's get our snow boots on, trek over there, get your hockey sticks. We're going to see the baby Jesus. No.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. And so this guy to me, was just coming up with excuses not to celebrate Christmas for whatever reason. Now, the funny thing about this was, I guess it all turned around on him because he had his son, and I guess they were over at one of the stores, and his son was like, "Oh, look, Dad, a Christmas tree." He's like, "Come on, son, we don't get into that. We don't celebrate that." And he was like, "Yeah, we do." And he was like, we just don't celebrate it when you're around."
There you go.
So, the wife is obviously celebrating behind his back, but, even his parents were like trying to reach out to his wife to get him to go and visit them for the holidays, because he wasn't going to do anything. He wasn't going to do
that I don't get all that. I mean, time with your family is not having anything to do with,
I don't know.
Feel like you've been lied to, like a cover up.
Right.
Like this massive scandal.
I don't know. With this particular guy, I'm thinking that it was just, he just wanted to get out of buying Christmas presents. But because there's no logic. You can't be that stupid to say, well, they didn't trek through the snow during, to go see the baby Jesus. So there's no way that was the right date. We know it's not the right date, dude.
He knows it snows in other months other than December, right?
So, yeah.
Okay, just for sure.
I mean, on the other side of the world.
No, we don't know. Back then, but I'm just saying, it doesn't snow in December.
And obviously, I mean, the dates are off.
Yeah.
I was reading my Bible one time, and I remember because I had some friends that were Seventh-day Adventists, and I don't know if you know about these guys. Dr. Ben Carson is a Seventh-day Adventist. Okay. They're very legalistic, so they're very they're almost like the Pharisees were, So I mean, they were very legalistic in what they do, and they're big on keeping the Sabbath day holy, which is awesome. I have no problem with them for that. Where we differ is they are very strict about what day is the Sabbath day. So as far as the Jews were concerned, the Sabbath day is Saturday. That would be the end of the week. The beginning of the week would be Sunday. But we don't go by the Jewish calendar, so it's a little different. We keep our Sabbath day on Sunday here, in the U.S. But they still keep it on Saturday. And they're very big on it. It's almost like a hell-worthy trespass. Like you can't go, you're not right and lined up with God if you're not celebrating or if you're not worshiping and treating the Saturday as the Sabbath. So I think they go to an extreme on it. Right. You see what I'm saying? So I remember looking up about it prompted me to do a study on the Sabbath. And I remember reading that, and I don't know why they would choose to ignore this, but there is a verse that says it doesn't matter what day you hold as the Sabbath, just as long as you hold a day holy in the eyes of God. That's all that matters. Like for us, I work on Sundays. It is hard to go to church. No, I'm kidding. We go to church on Wednesdays. That is my Sabbath day. And we try to, one day I won't be working Sundays anymore, and I'll be like, hallelujah, I can go to church on a Sunday morning, Right. But right now it's like my Sabbath day is Wednesday. And I'm sure as heck not going to let somebody tell me that I'm not in line with the Lord because I choose to go on a Wednesday night service, instead of as Saturday or Sunday, but I think, I don't know. For me, it just is saying it doesn't matter if we're celebrating Jesus on December 25th or October 15th. It's just, this is the day that we have chosen, and this is the day that we hold as sacred in the U.S. and dedicated to Jesus. There you go. I agree. Now I think people get a little too fascinated on the baby Jesus aspect of it. Yes, he was born, but he's not always a baby Jesus. So it's not, like the Will Ferrell, dear Lord, baby Jesus, bless this dinner, No, I don't. But it is Jesus, and I do believe that Jesus is alive. Jesus is well. Jesus is probably closer and closer to coming back. Every moment, obviously, but. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous for you to, and if you're listening to this out there, don't get too legalistic on it. If you get too legalistic on it, you're never going to get it right because I don't think they even actually know the exact date of the birth of Christ. Right. So how are you going to get it? Who cares? Throw a dart at a calendar, pick a day, keep it holy. Yeah. What do you think? No?
Good advice, yeah.
I need you to talk here, Justin.
That's good. Well, I'm listening. I'm still stuck on the guy with the stove,
On that?
I'm still stuck on that. I'm like, really? Really? That was your argument? But
I know. No, if you have something to say about that, please put it out there.
I can't believe that he would just act like he has this big argument and then he throws that out there. You're just,
Right.
I feel like that guy that's behind the politician that says that one bad thing, you're like kind of waving the flag. You're like, hey.
I know, but I don't understand. I don't know why people get like that. And I don't know if it's, a lot of times I was watching this pastor recently and he said something that really rang true to me. And he said, there are no atheists. There are no true atheists. There are those people that are that are in line with God and have a good relationship with God, and then there are those people that are in disagreement with God. Okay. So, and if you think about it, you think about atheists or anybody that has these kinds of outlooks, it's usually because they're trying to. They're disagreeers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They usually are. It's because of a lifestyle choice or something that they have that the church or the Bible has told them that is, not in line with what God has for your life, and they don't. Yeah, because we have to look at it. Our relationship, he is God the Father. He is our Father. He created us. It is very much a father-child relationship, So we're down here whining and complaining about how bad we have it, and he just wants you to get in line with what he's got for you. Sure. So, I don't know how we got on that, but I think this is how a lot of people become bitter and get to this point, where they don't celebrate Christmas or they, don't celebrate Easter. And then next thing you know, there is no God. No, we're not doing any of it. We're not going to church. We're not nothing. I don't know. What do you think?
I think if you have a good grounding in your faith, letting a holiday affect you in that way just would make me think that there's other things going on than the Christmas holiday.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Is it that you just...
I would agree with that and just say there's more to it than just that.
So you're saying more on the side where they're just using dumb excuses to keep it at an arm's length, keep God at an arm's length. Yeah, I could definitely see that. So what else? What else do we have on this topic?
Well, I mean, we were talking about having a conversation about. I mean, we talked about the Christmas tree.
Right. Out of the way. Right. You said, "Don't roll your eyes. Don't roll your eyes." Well, I guess I was just setting it up because it's one of those things that like people like look at that stuff and then some people go, "Wow, I'm never celebrating Christmas again. This is twisted," because it really is. Just like the Easter and the Easter bunny, and that's the day we celebrate the birth of Christ, and it is surrounded with pagan symbolism, but you don't think about it. But for years, people talk to each other like, why do we have Easter bunnies laying eggs in the backyard? How does this make sense? But it makes perfect sense if you know the history behind it.
I guess for me, I know they're two separate things. You know what I mean? Like, I get that it's not...
Right.
I know the true spirit of Christmas. I understand what it's about. So for me, the other stuff that goes with the holiday is just like something to enjoy. It's not like something to worship or,
just part of.
I don't have a Santa Claus shrine in my closet or something that I'm like, lighting incense.
Some people do. I bet they do though. Some people really get into it, but just from that side. Now, I do appreciate people saying, look, this has gotten out of hand. This is way too much about stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It really is. So, and some families, and me and my wife go round and round about this. Her family always gives each other very big, very expensive gifts. My family never did that, and because it wasn't about that, and we didn't. There was no declaration made. I never heard, well, we don't do that because that's not in the spirit of Christmas, and it's about Jesus, and it's about no, it's not. It wasn't.
Your mom doesn't even sound like that.
So exactly. But it was just, it wasn't like that. It was just, we didn't do big gifts, So, and then because I think another part of it was, we didn't have a ton of money, and we were always told, you don't give people a huge gift because then a lot of times they feel like they owe you something more. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it makes people uncomfortable. It does. I'm from Missouri. We're simple people, So, I mean, and we try like to keep people comfortable, and that's what it was. If you want to give somebody a gift, fine. Don't make it too huge because they'll be uncomfortable about it, And we don't need to give each other huge gifts. Yeah, well, we did our, the white elephant or whatever at Christmas, and
that's great.
And we give gifts to each other, but nothing huge. When I was a kid, I got like some, maybe like a Super Nintendo or something. But it's always the kids that got more. But now it's like, man, you're getting older, and you want to buy what for how many people? I don't feel like I should have to go into debt, and I don't think God wanted me to go into debt just to celebrate, Christmas. But I don't know. Everybody has their own things that really incite the spirit of Christmas in them, and like huge gift giving doesn't do it for me.
I'm not huge. For me, I love giving gifts. It's not. It could be not so much how big the gift is. It's more of like what the gift is and maybe how it would make you feel, or how I give you the gift and stuff like that. That's what I enjoy most about that.
Like a personalized kind of gift. Absolutely. But if you get me, like, if I got like a huge gift from somebody because of the way I was raised, I feel weird about it. And it's just the way I was raised. I like, if you went out of your way to do something that was very personalized, then yes, I would totally appreciate it, because that's what I like to do for people. But I don't know. Huge gifts make me feel weird. Like I owe you something.
I guess I could agree with that. I mean, growing up, I was the same way. Like, it was just me and my mom did an excellent job of masking the fact that we were just poor. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of had some hints. I guess I didn't pick up on because, at Christmas time, my mom would have presents. But, I mean, I didn't pick up on the fact that she just did the best she could. Like, for one Christmas, I got a Game Boy Color.
Okay.
That was a big gift back in the day.
Yeah.
But she would spread it out. So, I mean, she'd always give me the actual gaming hardware last, but I'd have like the charger and the batteries.
So she opened up the box.
I'm like, Mom, it's a Game Boy Color. I got it. Or can I just have the Game Boy?
Can I please?
Like 19 gifts later, I got it.
You got like the back to that covers over the battery case is wrapped separately. Hey, but at least it made it kind of fun, and you pieced it together. Yeah. So no, I get that. I didn't have.
I was never growing up. I never received big gifts, so I was in that same sense not to do. I mean,
right. Yeah. So I mean, but that's not what does it for me for Christmas. I mean, and I do get into that Christmas spirit. I mean, like especially like if the right movie comes on, or like you said, I'm not a total Scrooge. When the right music, comes on at the right time, I'm just like, all right, let's put up some Christmas decoration. Hey, let's go get some eggnog and let's get the music going. Maybe we'll put on, I don't know, like Miracle on 34th Street in the background, while we're playing some board games, put a fire on, let's make some s'mores or something. Yeah. But that's what it's about. It's about, hanging out with family and just, that. And we lose sight a lot of times of the God aspect of Christmas because we're so busy spending all this money. I kind of wonder how God sees us during the holidays sometimes.
I would be curious to know that too. I'd feel like, I don't know, sometimes I'm, people might hear this and think of me in a different way, but I kind of give God like a sense of humor and like a warped sense of reality.
Oh yeah.
I don't think of him as just like some old fogey that sits on a throne and just,
right,
does nothing. I mean,
just
I feel like
snipes, just eating popcorn and throwing a shell down everyone's.
I feel like he has a sense of humor, and I feel like he, I don't know.
How would he create us with a sense of humor and not have one? We're created, in the.
I mean, I feel like he knows our lives, but I feel like he relives them with us. So I feel like, I don't know. That's why I like to think of him.
Yeah.
Like it's a constant reality show, and
he's watching us. It's like that.
Chris doesn't know this, but this is about to happen. I can't.
He's literally like watching Big Brother. He's got like the 24-hour access channel to it. Yeah, I know. But I mean, we think of it from a very legalistic viewpoint too, like because I think we see God a lot of times as it's this. It's black or white, so, you screwed up here just a little bit. Yeah, that might have been funny, but the way that it came out was bad. So, so no, I don't think he sees us like that at all. I mean, and they say God's ways are not our ways. The way that he like you said, you have to look at it like a warped sense of reality because his sense of reality is very different from ours,
I mean, times have changed and traditions of old don't automatically translate to modern traditions anymore.
That's true. That is true.
I would think he can't see it the same way all the time.
No, you can't. So, yeah, but the only thing they say that is the same is God. Yeah. God always was and always will be, and God is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So that's in your Bible, kids. So.
There you go. There's a story you can tell your kids.
Yeah, right. Exactly. not pedophiliac James Varney and
the tree and the egg
and no Easter eggs hatching men. Yeah.
Now I have a picture of my head of Ernest taking a little tree and a little bunny and then trying to recreate that story. I'm just like, no.
Again, if you're listening, this will be our last and final episode of Hear No Evil. No. So what have we learned today?
We've learned essentially what the true meaning of Christmas is.
What was that?
That you don't need to watch Die Hard.
No, watch Die Hard. You will need this. You will need this very magical Christmas break at some point after watching It's a Wonderful Life, A Miracle on 34th Street, and by the way, I didn't get to say my favorite Christmas movie of all time, which is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. By far the funniest, best Christmas movie of all time. I think it truly epitomizes what a lot of us us go through for the holidays, because we want this perfect vision of Christmas. Everybody does every year, and they work so hard for it. They spend so much money getting the right presents, the right wrapping paper, and the right trees, and the right lights on the house. And then you still got to deal with the unstable reality of your own family, you know?
And then God's up there like,
right? I know, exactly. This is where the sense of humor comes in, you know? It's
laughing at our pain.
Right, exactly, you know? It's like, well, while men make plans, you know? So it's like, I don't know. It's the plans of mice and men, you know? I mean, we can try so hard. And then, you know, you want it to be perfect. And then you got some weird cousin or, you know, stepbrother or something, you know, or there's always that one guy, you know? And if you don't know who that guy is in your family, there's a good chance that you're it, you know, just to let you know. And if it is you, fix it, because people want to have a good holiday season. If you are Cousin Eddie showing up to the family, you know, Christmas get together, fix it. No?
I mean, it's still, you need a little extra spice in life to make things interesting. So
that's true. That's
Eddie
true.
be Eddie.
Eddie be Eddie. Yeah, that's true. I didn't say that you don't have to be who you are. Maybe scale it down a little bit, you know, you got to do that sometimes, you know. Sometimes you just got to go, I know I'm this way, and I'm just going to scale it down just a notch, you know. I have to do it myself, you know, because sometimes I just want to say something, and I'm like, you know, and I just bite my lip and keep moving.
See, I'd be right behind you, like, say it.
All right, I know you are the little. Everybody thinks that Justin is the innocent one. He is more of the devil on your shoulder than anybody out there.
I'm right there with Jesus. I'm
right there
on this.
I'm right there with Jesus. So was Satan for a time.
I see him afar from the shoulder. I'm just like, what up, Jesus?
What up, Jesus? Oh my God. This is, yeah, exactly. So, again, if you want to reach out to us, we would love to hear from our audience. We have some people listening. I know what were you telling me last week? We had like some guy in like Australia that like just ran through all of our.
They did.
Yeah. So, and
not very many of it, all 5 of them.
It's crazy how you can read the stats and get the stats on who's listening out there.
We got people all over China, Ukraine, Germany.
Yeah. It's nice. It's cool.
Canada. We got some Canadians.
We got some Canucks up there that are gonna. I don't know if they're gonna like our hockey reference.
These guys are funny, eh? Yeah.
Nothing against it whatsoever.
No, we love everybody.
Actually, we've got a guy that's came into our office. He's only here for a couple weeks. He's actually French Canadian, and I don't remember where he's from exactly, but he's been doing some work for the company. He was in L.A. for a few weeks, in New York, and now he came down here to Texas. I was like, you came to West Texas?
West Texas of all places.
After all that, and he said actually he loves it because he's from an oil town up there, and he says it's more cowboys than you think. It's cowboy boots, cowboy hats, blue collar workers, smaller town. So he likes this better than L.A. or New York, and he said, and he's got that very thick French Canadian accent, and I'm talking to him, and he said actually, because we were talking about this little honky tonk we go to every once in a while to go dancing with everybody. He was asking people where to go, and he was asking me about it, and I said, yeah, it's all right. You know, it's just a little hole in the wall. You know, I take my wife there sometimes when she wants to go dancing. And he was like, they two-step, and I was like, yeah. And I guess this guy teaches two-step in Canada. This French Canadian. Yeah, who knew? Who knew that the Canadians were up there just like two-stepping and doing line dancing? Never would have guessed. So kind of weird, huh?
Small world.
Yeah, very small world. So just stay off the ice when you do it. That's all I ask. I don't want you to get hurt, you know.
I'd bust so hard.
So I know, right? But I think that's how some of the greatest games of all time have been by probably drunk Canadians. Have you ever watched the Winter Olympics? Greatest time of all time.
I've seen it a couple times, but not like I have to like sit there, glued to the tube.
I'm telling you, watch curling one time. You will never stop watching it again. Greatest game.
Is that the one with the
broomsticks and the stones?
The squeegees?
Yeah. Friggin' love it.
I don't get that.
Oh, you will. Just watch it.
When at first I was like, are you trying to clean the floor? But they keep going back and forth with it. They're not very good.
I was living in Kansas City, where I'm from. My best friend and I at the time had a townhouse, and we both come home. I got my suit on. I come in, I sit down. He had just gotten there at the same, 5 minutes before me. He's sitting on the couch, and it's, we're in our early 20s, and you got this, this thing where I'm like, I look at the TV and they're showing curling, and I'm like, what are you watching, man? And he's like, I have no clue what this is. I just hit the power button. And I was like, well, change it. And he was like, remote's over there. And I'm like, yeah, that's really far, and I'm just tired. And you flash forward to 4 hours later, we've got 30 guys in our place, and we've got a whiteboard, and we're taking bets. We're we've got odds going, like Canada versus Switzerland. It was
who's going to sweep the floor better?
Right. Exactly. We end up watching curling until 3:00 in the morning. And now I won't miss it. So I am so excited about the Winter Olympics. But this is the year. We got the Winter Olympics, and now it's the holidays. Justin is married now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So my nuptials are over with, but that was in March. We didn't get to do a show on that, but yeah, we didn't need to. So, but it's a new chapter. It's a new chapter in our lives. So we did learn. Look, who cares if it's December 25th? Do it. Right? Do it. Just celebrate Christmas. Just be with your family. It doesn't matter. The money doesn't matter. And really, if you want to do elaborate gifts, if you want to do small gifts, if you want to do no gifts, just celebrate God, celebrate the birth of Christ, celebrate that this is the time that you can kind of make up with some people, make some new friends, but more importantly, this is when the weird cousins, or you might be the weird cousin, or something, or an argument needs to be mended, do it. Take the time to do it. Go see your family. Don't come up with stupid reasons like the wise men didn't trek through snow to go see the baby Jesus. So I know it's not the right date. So to me, that's just a stupid, really, really ignorant way of trying to get out of celebrating Christmas. I feel like it was almost made up because this guy can't be that dense.
At least you'd hope not.
Yeah, I know. I really hope not. So, greatest Christmas movie of all time, Justin.
The Family Stone.
Greatest Christmas movie of all time is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. The second is Die Hard. Family Stone is not a Christmas movie. And forget you people on Twitter that are voting against Die Hard. You are not true fans.
Love you guys.
You cannot be a Bruce Willis fan and say Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. All right. So I think we're going to wrap it. Anything else you want to add into our holiday episode?
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas. Thank you guys for listening to Hear No Evil. God bless. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
You didn't get to do the woohoo. I had to do it this time. Do it.
I thought I'd share. Are you going to do it?
Yeah, do it. That's like your outro every time.
What do I do?
You just go woohoo.
I've lost it. It's been too long.
You have lost it. I'm picking up the slack here.
This has been a Hear No Evil production. Thank you and good night.